Well, I thought we started out the week. I was concerned about, just coming off that Michigan game and the rival of that and the way we won it in dramatic fashion. I think making sure our focus was there for Thursday against Northwestern. And I thought our kids did a really good job. I mean, it wasn't our best game, but I definitely felt like, we did some things. We did what we had to do to get the win, and sometimes that's just as important as anything, and just kind of learning how to dig a little deeper. So we were excited about the challenge at Iowa, knowing it's a very, very tough place to play. They've been playing extremely well, watching them take down Purdue and Minnesota pretty handily at home. So that's a tough venue. We didn't play well out of the gates, but well enough that, you walk into halftime and, you didn't play your best, but we're in a tie, obviously, so you felt good about that. And just had a stretch in the second half where we couldn't score the ball, and obviously they made a little bit of a run there. So we had some opportunities. I think we missed, watching the film last night, we missed 10 lane shots and 8 layups. So that's 18 opportunities that I feel like even if you make half of those, it's a different situation. So, lesson learned, and in this business, you're on to the next one already with a tough road game at Wisconsin. So questions?
You had said after Northwestern that you didn't think you guys played really well, and I'm sure you don't feel that you guys played very well against Iowa. What is the level of concern for you right now, if there is any?
Well, I think you're always concerned going into every game. I don't think it's higher or lower. I think the thing that disappointed me the most probably in the Iowa game is I didn't feel like we had a collective fight out there. I didn't feel like there was, as good a leadership as we've had in the last few games, and that was disappointing. I thought our post players got in foul trouble right away again. All 3 of them had, combined 6 fouls in the first half, and the way we were defending their big, that shouldn't have happened. So I felt like we weren't real sharp and focused in that department. So, for me, I guess, am I concerned? I don't know, this league's tough, and winning on the road, as you know, is really challenging, and I was disappointed in that part. I didn't think we had that fight and that fire and that collective front that we've had here in the last few games. If I had to pinpoint it, I feel like there's 2 areas that, have been kind of either slowly dropping or dramatically dropping, however you want to look at it, is our point guard play is kind of, Kiana hasn't been putting back-to-back games together like she used to. I think she's struggling for whatever reason, and we need a point guard presence, because now I have to put Porche at the point, and that takes away and detracts from her ability to put the ball in the basket. And I don't think we have as strong of a post presence as we need. Kendra needs to be more aggressive, and she's done that in several games where she just is, nowhere to be found as a post presence in the first half, and usually hopefully comes to life in the second, which she obviously did against Michigan and Northwestern. But we need 40 minutes out of her in both halves, and as well as Jasmine and Becca. So I kind of feel like those are the 2 areas that we've pinpointed is consistent point guard play and more aggressive back to the basket post scoring.
Why do you think it's been such a struggle for Kiana and Lakendra recently?
I don't know. Maybe they're hanging out too much. I don't know. I don't know if Kiana, she's a freshman hitting her wall. I've talked to her about that. We've had conversations. She doesn't feel that way, but I'm sensing that a little bit. I don't feel like her fire is there as it was early, and I'm not sure why. We need to get to the bottom of that. Lakendra, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's the wear and tear and, how she's a little bit different player this year, obviously, with, her size. She's got the knee injury and stuff. I don't know if she's in the best condition she's been in since she's been here. So I think, that fluctuates. And, when you're doing that, you're not in the best shape maybe that you want to be in. And certainly she has the knee injury. I think, playing a couple games in a week and that grind maybe hits her a little bit harder. That turnaround game for Sunday's a little bit harder, even though we're trying to manage their activity levels on that next day, that Friday. I think we do a pretty good job of doing a little more walkthrough action and preserving some of those key kids. But, I'm not really sure the exact reason why they haven't been playing at the highest level.
With these last 4 games, what do you think is the biggest key for you guys to I guess, gain some momentum and maybe get on the right path?
Yeah, I think, that obviously you got to win on the road. We've got Wisconsin and Northwestern on the road, and certainly opportunities with a big game at home against Purdue, that being our Think Pink game. Obviously, there'll be a great crowd, and then senior night with Nebraska. So really good opportunities with some quality teams, both on the road and at home. And like I said, I mean, I think we got to get our point guard back playing. Both her and Jasmine Thomas, Kiana and Jasmine Thomas, have to play well. I think we need more of an aggressive post presence, and our seniors need to lead us. I mean, these are 4 games that we got to get, and I feel like we can. I just think it's going to take a collective front from those senior kids to get the job done.
Coach, what do you see from the team when you go through at games and time? Your team will go in a shooting slump. Do you think it's just a lack of concentration, or maybe just a lack of focus, or some other things? What do you say about that?
Yeah, I didn't feel like we were in a shooting slump. I just felt like we were. That was the first time I felt like we were missing some chippies in a while. I think earlier when we were in that stretch, we were struggling. We were shooting in the 20 percentile. I mean, down there we were, I don't think we were in that position. I think we set the tone at Iowa. Their idea of being aggressive was shooting 18 threes in the first half, and that's not what we wanted, so we had to tone that down a little bit. And I think, that kind of carried over into some of the opportunities where, our mindset was we weren't making them. If you shoot that many and, you're not hitting them, obviously I feel like it carries over into every position, including the post position. So, and we had opportunities at north and south drive. So I thought that set the tone in a obviously not a good way. Was that, we were shooting the 3-ball way too quickly and way too early in shot clocks. And we needed to be aggressive, but that wasn't the concept. And I think that carried over. Any other questions?
Knowing all the strength of your opponents, it seems like you're a little different team at home. I guess every coach in the country could try to figure this one out. But is it just getting mentally tougher on the road, or what is it?
It's kind of interesting. I don't know. I don't know if it's the youth and the inexperience that we have to play, comes into effect. But we've gone on the road and won at Penn State and Michigan, and then you struggle someplace else. That maybe you feel like you could get one. So, I'm not sure. I just look right now that we got to get, where I'm at is like we got to get better post presence, and we got to get our point guard going again. I mean, that's, when you ask me where I feel like right now where we've adjusted a little bit and maybe we don't have the confidence and the swagger that we've had, I would tell you those are the 2 areas that I feel like those people need to elevate their game and show up for 40 minutes. And, I think we'll be fine. And when we do, obviously we can beat anybody. But I also think this is a really challenging league. I mean, there's not many teams in this league. I think Thursday night when we played Northwestern, Illinois beat Ohio State. There's a lot of upset games that day, not only in the Big Ten, but across the country. Detroit, who we played here, turned around and beat Wisconsin Green Bay, who was undefeated in the top 10 at their place. So, I just think it's the nature of the beast a little bit, and you got to keep your focus and keep your intensity up. And sometimes that youth comes into play.